I'm just going to jump right into this because this hurt the heart this morning. And I'm trying to see, I've got YouTube pulled up on my screen so that I can see y'all chat. Yes, and I see it. I see it. Okay, now let me pause this. There we go. All right, maybe this will work so I can see y'all talking into the chat. If it crashes, I'll just have to close it out. But last time I know a lot of y'all were talking in the chat. I couldn't see anything. And so now maybe I can interact with y'all while I'm doing this. So anyways, good morning on this beautiful Tuesday, November 14th. Let me jump right in and share my screen for gold because you guys know I love gold. But let me show y'all because remember, now I don't know if y'all watched my Instagram. I don't think they posted on Surge Trader's Instagram yet, but I'm going to start doing the fundamentals and just doing like a real quick, maybe on Monday or Tuesday morning, probably Monday morning, just shoot over and give y'all like a Monday through Friday news fundamental thing. I don't trade on fundamental news, and this is exactly why. Let me show y'all real quick. So I was anticipating gold dropping down to around the 1900 area. And if you can see, let me go to the hour. Look at the fundamentals. This is, again, I'm going to reiterate this. If you are trading on a Surge funded account, if you are going in through an audition, and I apologize for the background noise, y'all, but if you're going through an audition, if you're on a live account, if you're on anything, if you haven't, I would say at least 5 to 6 years experience on the fundamental side of trading, it is best that if you're looking on like forexfactory.com or whatever website you're going on, and you see a lot of fundamental news, just save yourself a lot of stress and don't trade, because I got absolutely waxed on gold this morning, and this is where fundamental news come out. Boink, completely slaughtered my trade. And you can see, like, if y'all remember Thursday, we discussed this. Gold went in from 1964, to 1930. A good trade still. That's 300 pips. That could have 10x your account, 5x your account, whatever it is, whatever risk management you used. But still, as you can see, fundamentals can always go against your technicals. And it doesn't mean that it's going to completely, it doesn't have to always wipe you out every time. But I still see gold going on a bearish momentum. I did not, I'm going to switch over here real quick just to look. Now you guys probably can't see this, but yeah, so core CPI, the CPI monthly, and the CPI yearly, all of these were worse than expected, meaning for the US dollar, if they're worse than expected, that means that the US dollar is going to lose strength. And obviously, in trading gold, you can see that news created a massive fundamental push for the opposing pair. So gold, GBP USD, EUR USD, anything correlating with the US dollar, when fundamentals come out and it's against the US dollar, obviously that pair is going to take off. Whatever it is. Like, for example, gold is XAU USD. So for that pair, the US dollar lost strength, gold gained a massive fundamental push. Point does not mean, so remember this, I think I told y'all this last time, and this is about 9 times out of 10 when fundamentals come out. You have first the impulse, which is basically retail trader driven. When news comes out, you have the retail traders, all the anticipation, all the just the gamblers. I'll say that. That's the best phrase, is just the gamblers waiting on news to hit, and they've got their pending orders in, they've got their limits, they've got whatever it is. Fundamentals come out, and then whatever those orders are, it puts that huge initial push. Then you have reaction. So impulse and then reaction. The reaction is what I would say, not necessarily the banks and stuff like that, but it's like the reaction to the real news, to the technicals and stuff like that. I think it's coming in. I just seen Carlos come in. I fell in the same trap today, just ignored fundamental news and fell. Yes, see, Carlos. It's hard. It's hard because I've been trading 8 years. It's the biggest thing, the most crucial thing to your trading is patience. And especially if you guys are like me, everybody likes making money, and you're like, you know what? I'm just going to chance it because I want to trade today. I don't want to sit on my hands and just watch charts all day and not trade. So understand that completely. You know, it sucks. It does. It's a part of trading. You just got to understand you're going to have wins, you're going to have losses. I always say this: that absolute most successful traders are experts at losing because they can take a loss and then they're moving on to either the next trade, or they understand, you know what, I'm going to stick to my trading plan. I went against and traded fundamentals when I knew I shouldn't. I took a loss. Let me just get out of the market for the day. And when you do that, especially when you take a loss, a lot of people will say different things. When I take a loss for the day, I do not look at charts anymore. I don't, because what are you going to do? You're going to have that anticipation to where you want a revenge trade. You had a loss, regardless of what your risk management was or anything like that. You took a loss, and you're like, all right, I need to recover that. I need to get back in it. I need to. Oh, I see where I went wrong. I was buying. Let me sell now. And then what happens? That sale turns into a buy. You take another loss, and then you have that human emotion come in where you're like, oh, the market ain't getting me today. And then it's just a domino effect. And I have seen people literally blow accounts off one losing trade because they just tried to revenge trade. And what happens, you guys can agree, give me a thumbs up in the chat if you've done this before. You take your loss, and so let's just say you lost $500 on a one lot, and then so your second trade, you're already upset, or you're over analyzing now because you took that loss, and so you up your lot size, and so now you've upped your risk, you've completely threw risk management out the window, and then that second trade is a loss. So now you've doubled your the amount you've lost for that day. And then that nasty thing that comes into our head where we're like, oh yeah, not happening to me. I'm fixing to just slaughter the market. And then you use something crazy like a 10 lot, and you blow your account. You breach your account, whatever it is. It's not fun. It's horrible. Santana said, good morning from the Dominican Republic. Do you believe that USD will be able to break the 50% at the time data? So I'm assuming you're using a Fibonacci. I do not use fundamentals, but I will switch over right here and we can check it out. And see, look at the fundamental push, just craziness. All right, so y'all are going to see. I'm going to just, well, no, I won't remove my drawings. I'll remove these real quick. Carlos said, I did try to buy again and also fed. Yeah, I mean, there's no reason to be embarrassed because we all do it. Like, I have done it a million times. I've blown accounts doing that. That's why learn off my experience, because I've blown over $500,000 of real life funded money. I mean, not funded money, my capital doing these things. So it's the hardest thing you'll hear it. And I know you guys will see all these demo traders on Instagram and YouTube or Facebook, whatever it is. They tell you, like, if you're not risking 5% per trade, what are you even trading for? Those are idiots. Do not do that, because you're treating it like a game. You're basically you're going to the casino every time you go to the charts. That's not how you gain consistency and sustainability. I have had consistency for probably the last 4 to 5 years that has provided my entire lifestyle. It's not, oh, Brandon, you sell courses or signals. And no, none of that. I have shown y'all, if y'all go to my Instagram, Imperial FX Academy, I have documented my live accounts showing where it went to. You documented where I have done my trades, made withdrawals, shown the I don't know what it's called with the crypto, like whatever the tags to my crypto exchange, to my bank account. You're not going to see too many people do that. Plus, and let me just pull this up real quick. I can still show. This is another thing that traders will not do. Give me 1 second. Let me open my app. Not too many people will do this right here. And this is live. This is live. This is what I love to do. I don't know if you can, let me see. Let me take this off real quick. There we go. I don't know if you guys can see that. My FX book. You see that right there? You can't lie on that. You can't lie on that. You can't lie on an app that's made for that. I don't even know how to go into it. Yeah, there we go. You can't do it. So, anyways, not too many people will do that. So, going back to the whole goal of trading, obviously, is to make money. In that goal, you want to have consistency and sustainability. Sustainability meaning if you're trading for just 2 to 3 months and you're gambling and you're trying to flip accounts and that's your mindset, that's your goal, okay, that's fine. But if you want to realistically make a living, create a completely different lifestyle for you, create financial freedom, then you want real sustainability and real consistency. And that's where you have to get serious with your trading. You have to get serious with your trading plan, your risk management, especially if you're using like a Surge Trader funded account. You have those. That's why any prop firm, they all have rules set in place to realistically, you should appreciate it because it makes you a better trader. They have a set of rules in play that you have to abide by. And so if you can be consistent with that, you will automatically become a better trader because you know you can't lose less than 5% or whatever the percentage is. You have to do this, you have to do that. That's the whole point of it. And so as prop firms, they know that you're going to fail. They know that you're going to fail because most humans will not stay in the parameters of rules. They're always like, you know what? I'm going to chance it today. Let me go against the plan. Maybe nobody will see. And then, boop, breached account. And it don't feel well. So stay in the parameters. All right. Anyways, let me go back to this. And y'all, somebody give me a thumbs up if you can see my my chart well, because on my screen it has my camera showing. Okay, thank you. Y'all are lagging on the chat, so my own teammate had to help me. Anyway, for Euro USD, what I see now, based off fundamental push, we obviously see that the US dollar is losing, and today's only Tuesday. If you guys look on forexfactory.com, look at the red folders for US dollar. There is crazy news this week for US dollar. So if I were you and you're trading, lower your risk completely to like 0.5%, not 1%, 0.5%, to where even if you're trading like a 0.02 lot, whatever it is, you're still trading, you're still fulfilling your urge to trade, but you understand if the fundamentals come out, you might have losses, and they're not gonna affect you none. It's like trading on a $100 account with a 0.01 lot. You don't care if you lose 20 cents, but if you win, you're sharpening your skills. You know, you're like, oh man, you know, that would have been great. Just lower your risk on heavy fundamental days. I'm telling y'all, it'll be so much easier on your heart. All right, anyways, Euro USD. So on my strategy, you guys know that. Let's just build this right here. This is what I look for. Excuse me. I look for price to break that area of resistance, break that zone, break that level, break that Fibonacci area, whatever you want to call it. I look for price to do this, break, hook, and go. Basically, just a ladder, simple step. What you see on candles is you'll see one large candle that looks like this, comes through. You'll see a massive push, basically what we have here. And I'm sorry, I don't want to get all technical and like change the color of this or whatever. Have you ever tried silver? I have not, and I don't have any reason. I've just been extremely successful with gold. And for me personally, I don't want to trade my, I don't want to change my, not necessarily plan, but I realistically only trade certain pairs like GBP, JPY, UJ, GU, and gold. Honestly, I used to trade US 30 like crazy, but if you live in the United States and you haven't been living under a rock, you can tell that the fundamentals have just been absolutely insanity and US 30 has been crazy. But other than that, I have not traded silver. And I know I've heard that silver actually plays out or flows much better than gold. I haven't traded it. But anyways, you'll see a candle here. You'll see maybe like a little wick here. And I apologize, y'all. I'm not an artist. Maybe a wick there. And then you'll have maybe several candles doing this. Like that. And then you'll have one that has like a little body here that goes into that zone again. And then you'll have the go. So you have the break, the hook, and then the go. And then this candle right here just absolutely takes off. I don't know why it works, but that is literally what I look for when I'm looking at my zones of buying or selling. I'm looking for the candle that broke. Okay, perfect example. Like now, this is on a 4-hour time frame. But you guys see where price come up. You have these candles that just blast through the entire zone that I have marked up. Even this one. Now, this would have been a fake out. Probably would have hit my stop right there. But I would have seen that right there. I would have seen where price come back down, break, hook, and went. But even this, you're talking 105.940 to 106.770 or 700. That's still a good trade. It's just I look for swing trades between levels. Excuse me, y'all. I apologize if y'all see me drinking. It's just when I'm talking to myself a lot, my voice will go in and out. My throat gets extremely dry. So I apologize if y'all see me cough like every 5 seconds. But as you can see, just even with the Euro USD, price played around this zone back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then the final, and this is where patience comes in. Not everybody can do this. Not everybody will sit there and wait for this area. But you see where price come up, blasted through, and then this small little retracement. If we go into the smaller time frame, you can see the break hook can go a lot better. Let me go back to that and circle this area. All right. And we'll do this number right here just so we can identify this area. Let's go to 1 hour. So you can see, I mean, it's not the best structure available comparing to my strategy, but it still looks good. You still see, you can see where basically this level here, second level there. Price had this huge bullish momentum push come up through. You see this candle, just all three of these candles just completely wiped all the bearish momentum, threw it out the window. And then you have where these candles come back down, touched. You have that wick that I was talking about on that body, and then this massive bullish just take over, just poof, completely. Now, again, you can see guaranteed this right here was probably fundamentals as well with this huge, a lot of y'all like to call like the bull trap or whatever. Price done exactly. Now, this on the lower time frame is exactly what I'm talking about. You have these candles that break that zone. There's that huge, massive bullish momentum. And then price comes back down. You had that break, hook. You had the level, break, hook, and go. Price went up and then retraced all the way back down. It's all right. It's okay. It didn't go exactly as planned. Again, still, that's probably a 106.2. It's like a 60 pip trade. A lot of y'all are looking for 10 to 15 pips. So that would be a beautiful trade. But I'm just trying to show you how to identify my strategy on what I look for every day, higher time frame and lower time frame. Now, if you're asking like, what do you like? A lot of you guys like to use the word confluences and stuff like that. What goes into that? Do I just look for that, and as soon as I see this, I take the buy? No, there's a lot of collective things that you can look for. You can look for, okay, price is breaking through the zone, it's retesting. Flip through your time frames and see if you see any structure. Like, do you see any? For bullish, we have our double bottoms. I went through this before, where price comes down, retests the neckline, and goes. And you have basically the W's. Oh, I could have done this right here. Where price comes up, breaks that zone, does a little structure, comes back and retests this neckline, and then blasts off. You can look for that in those areas. And I almost see that, except instead of price going down and retesting the neckline, it actually broke the complete structure and then took off. As you can see what I mean by that. We have boink, or here, I'll do this. Price comes up, creates a nice little double bottom, does a little wonk. Now, and let me say this, you're not going to see a perfect W and perfect double tops and all that stuff. You got to remember, this is the market flowing, doesn't care about structure, don't care about none of that. This is just terminology and structures that we as retail traders have created, that we have seen in the past based off our experience. The structures do play out, and so that's why we use this. But it doesn't mean that it has to be a perfect like a head and shoulder, inverse head and shoulders, stuff like that. So don't always look for absolute perfect, crystal clear, like you're going too deep and you're going to be stressing yourself out. So don't do that. But anyways, price comes up, instead of retesting the neckline, comes all the way back down and then blasts off. So what structure would that be? I have no clue. But you start identifying based off your just past experience, that you can see when you identify price coming through. You just put your little zone right here, because this is realistically what I do on my trades. I put my little zone right here, and I'm like, okay, if price breaks through this area, I'm not looking for buys, and I'm going to hold out, because I don't counter trend trade. I'm going with the trend, blah 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 blah. And then you wait for this patient moment, and anywhere in this is where you can just scale it out. Oh, sorry. You have your entry. You say, okay, if price is going to break this area, I'm going to give it a little bit of breathing room. That's what stop losses are for. You want to be able to give price a little bit of breathing room, because it goes up and down, ping pong and back and forth. Doesn't matter. Price, again, exactly what I was talking about. We were looking for our double bottom or our triple bottom, our inverted head and shoulders. We identified double bottom, but price broke through that area, tested it twice, and then took off. So what I would say is, we already have, okay, if price, this is my zone, this is my buying zone right here. So if price comes back to here, I'm buying. I've got my 40 pip stop. Let's see, it is at 1059, so we'll do 105,500. Lord, and see, this is, now I'm on the 15-minute, but you see how much room that you're giving yourself for the price. Now, realistically, if you're looking at this on the smaller time frame, you're like, man, if price comes all the way back down here, it's went completely against my trade. You can't always say that, because price could literally do this. Price could be ping-ponging around, do this number right here, come all the way down, and you're in your stop, you're panicking, you're freaking out. And all price was doing was what a lot of you guys like to use, like order blocks and liquidity grabs. You can use that. This is what a lot of people have created, the terminology liquidity grabs. It's just price reaching down, breaking the re-entry zones, and then boom, takes off. So if you have the patience to hold through these trades, that's the way it works. Completely, that's the way it works. All right. So let's go back to the initial question. All right, price just wants to disappear. There we go. Scale is back down. And after I go over Euro USD, I'm going to go over what I do every time and show you guys exactly how I mark up my charts. Not every day, because I have them marked up basically on Sunday and Monday, and then I watch how it plays out throughout the week. But so here are my zones. Here, let's do this. Here, and it just got super quiet in here. Thank you. Here and here. So those are my buy or sell zones. I'm not looking for anything else. I'm not looking for entries on here, what I like to call the heart line, because you basically have your zone here and your zone here. You don't want to be taking buys at this area and price do this number right here. Boom, 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 and then go completely against you. You do not want that. What I'm looking for is price to, if it's already halfway, realistically, you've missed the trade. So what you want to look for is, if price is doing this number right here, you want to look for sells or buys at this zone based off what the candlestick structure is doing at that area. So if it's doing this and you see it kind of just bouncing around, playing around, you want to look for sells into this zone and then wait for that area. But I'm wanting the kilos. I'm going to do. Exactly. Absolutely. Just takes the patience, and that's the hardest thing. Like, patience is everything, guys. It If you can master your patience, not saying yes, you're going to be a completely successful trader, but that's the hardest goal. Like, learning how to trade, learning the technicals, the fundamentals, all that stuff. It takes time. Obviously, it takes experience of you watching the price action, all that stuff. But mastering your human emotions, that's the key. Any book you read, most videos you watch, it's going to all talk about mastering your emotions, mastering your greed, all that stuff. So this is where patience plays in. Now I'm going to switch back to gold. Let's do this. Oh, not this one, because this has got all my trades since we've started these lives. I'm going to go to this one right here. There we go. Now, let me remove these drawings, and I'm going to go basically over everything I do every live. You guys know this. You start at the monthly. I'm going to show y'all just how quick it takes. 5 minutes. I look at current price action. So gold is at 1964.40. I do not care about price all the way over here in the 2016 area if it's this far away from current price action. So you only want to stay, when you're back testing, when you're marking up your charts, you only want to stay near current price action. Remember that. You don't want to go crazy over here, because what you're looking for is the most simplistic form of charting up to where you don't stress your eyes and it's easier for you. I learned how to trade on my phone. So, and I know a lot of y'all were asking in Discord, what do I suggest with trading on the phone? Honestly, it's if you're just now learning how to trade, trading on your phone is going to be extremely difficult, because you're trying to cram all this information down on a little screen. Now, iPad is a little bit better. Laptop, obviously better than going into your computer or monitor. For me, I didn't have a choice. I was at work. I was at the railroad. I was hiding in the bathrooms, hiding on top of locomotives and stuff like this. I didn't have a choice. I didn't have the opportunity to go and be on the computer, stuff like that, if you work at a desk and stuff. So if you work at a desk or anything like that, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be much better for you learning how to trade using TradingView on a monitor where you can get the full picture and all that stuff. Do you mind giving me water? Thank you, brother. I'm sorry, y'all. So, not that it's not possible, because if I can do it, anybody can do it. It's just, it's much more difficult. Thank you, brother. It's a lot. It's just, again, you have this little screen compared to your monitor. So that's not possible. I'll say that again. But if you're going to be starting on your phone, let me say this. Go on TradingView and try to mark up your charts the best way you can, and don't trade. I'm sorry, I'm gonna splash water all over my nose. I'm not saying don't trade on MetaTrader 4. I'm saying don't chart up off MetaTrader. Whether it's MT5, MT4, chart up on your TradingView to where you can manipulate price, and you can do all that stuff. You can scale it all down, all that good stuff. And then when you're ready to take your trade, just flip over to your MT4, MT5. Back then, I didn't use, I don't even remember if TradingView was out at that time, honestly. And I was charting up with with MT4, it's horrible because you can only see, like, you can literally see uh, uh, the like last 15 minutes or whatever it is. Just don't do that. Don't do that. Start off, if you can't afford a laptop or a computer and you've got your phone, I understand you're going to be much more disciplined, but it's much better to start on a computer. All right. Anyways, so first thing, I go to my kennels and I go to my line chart. I look for current price and I am going to do the horizontal line on the monthly, and I'm just looking for peaks and valleys. Don't spend 30 minutes trying to get on. No, watch it. Watch. Literally, I see a peak, boing. I see valleys, boing. And you don't want to go crazy with this. You just want to go towards, realistically, this right here is too far away. So I'm just going to remove this. Put one here. I only want it on current price action. And boom, that right there, that's enough. I have a small window. This is on the monthly time frame. So these are the zones on the monthly. That's good. Don't worry. Oh, that's not parallel. Like, this is a bigger. Stop with all that. Go to the weekly. Man. Now, do you identify any other zones? Immediately we see on the monthly, it showed where price peaked at here, but on the weekly, it shows where price peaked here. So I get my horizontal line and I do this, and I'll do one more right here just based off current price action. And we can do one more right here because this is and boom. So let me just, for it's easier on the eyes, I remove that bottom line. Now we go down to the daily, and again, you can change these. You can change the colors. You can put your text form. If you're trying to make just some beautiful charts and all that, and you want to make it look nice and remind yourself, this is my monthly zone, this is my weekly zone. Change the colors, text box, all that stuff. That's perfectly fine. You do what you want to do. I just try to keep extremely clean and clutter free to where nothing breaks my mindset or just confuses me. You know what I mean? I love the gray background. This just, for me personally, it's easier on the eyes. It's worked well for me. It's how I trade. It's what I enjoy. What I enjoy. If you like completely black with the yellow or blue, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. If it helps you and you can identify the charts a lot better, do whatever that takes. So everything looks pretty clean. I could realistically maybe put one here, and there, but it'll realistically, it's just it'll clutter it up too much. Go down to the 4 hour. Maybe we can identify a little bit better zones. We'll just put one here and there, and this is in the 4 hour again. And you're basically just building the chapters of the book you're trying to read. So you have all this story. Now again, this is way away from current price action. I could have charted all this up. My man. So somebody in the chat said, how important is me time for a trader and mental clarity? If you watch my Instagram, you guys know that. Let me just say this, because I was telling somebody this earlier. A lot of people will not say this, but I'm a real trader. I want you guys to be successful. And let me take water for this because this is going to be serious. If you are going into trading and you have emotional stress, and emotional stress can be tied to anything, whether you're in a relationship, you're fighting, you're stressed about your children, you're stressed about your job, you're stressed about anything, that mental stress will affect your trading more than anything. Kayvon's my friend. He knows this. He knows this, that when they say, hey, let's go have lunch or let's go hang out, and I'm like, yeah, I'd love to, but I gotta have my me time. It's because trading is a very, and this is what I was going to say. A lot of traders will not say this. It's a lonely journey. It is extremely lonely because not many not many people can sit here and just stare at a monitor and try to analyze something that is just an absolute monster. You can't be charting up and have your children playing in the background, or your girlfriend, wife, husband, boyfriend sitting there trying to spend time with you, and you're watching um, charts and stuff like that. Or and I see a lot of people do this. They'll be watching a movie and charting up. You don't understand, like, in order to get serious with this and be successful, you have to hone in. So when you're trading, it is the going to be the most stressful thing. And you guys know this. You've already, a lot of y'all blowing the accounts, blowing the challenges, stuff like that. You experience those human emotions that you didn't even know existed. You didn't know that you were that greedy, or you didn't know that you could immediately be so happy your trade's in profit and then feel anxiety and depression and loneliness all in a matter of 15 minutes when you're up 40 pips and then price blasts down 80 pips and knocks you out, hits your stop. You experience an emotion that words haven't even been existed for. And it's the reality of trading. And that's why you guys know I try to be as genuine as possible. So going back to the question, how important is me time? You guys know that, like, I go to the beach almost every day unless it's raining, and that's my me time, that's my God time, that's my peace time, to where I got to have that mental break from everything. I'm not A lot of times I will post on my story, and that helps me just talking about what I'm experiencing at that time, whether I had a win or a loss. Like, to me, it's not that I don't get excited when I have wins and stuff like that, but I know that in order to contain my sustainability and my consistency, I have to contain my emotions. I can't be all my day's absolutely amazing. I'm having great trades, and then the next day me have a loss, and me just and you have that flip of dopamine. That's what creates that roller coaster of emotions. So if you're experiencing that, if you've had a run of losses, if you've had a run of wins, and then you got funded and then you blew your account, I'm telling you, got to have me time. Whether it's now for me, it's the beach. Go walking, go ride a bike, get outside in nature. That's what nature is for, to remove the stress. You don't have too many, even if you're struggling financially, again, going through whatever it is, breakups, or you're just having a fight, stuff like that. 9 times out of 10, when you get around nature, and I'm not talking about on your phone blasting music, because a lot of people's like, oh, that's how I release. No, I'm talking about no phone, no nothing, getting out, doing a walk, getting out away from technology and stuff like that. You got to have mental clarity. You got to bring all that back. You guys, I don't know if y'all have ever seen this on Instagram, but a lot of people have been doing this thing where they blindfold themselves for like 4 or 5 days. It's like a sensory overload reset, and there's no technology, there's no going outside, there's no nothing. They are in the dark for 4 or 5 days, and they have been saying that is an absolute life-changing experience, because we're so consumed with the next fix, or the next rise, or the next dopamine fix. What's on the next video? What's the next reel? All this stuff. It all goes into trading as well. We're looking for the next trade. What's our next win going to look like? What's our next withdrawal going to look like? We're just, in this day and time, we're flooded with now, and we lose concept of just having peace, being okay with the loss, being okay with you're not a successful trader and all that stuff. So I know I'm all over the place with this, but I'm just telling you based off my experience, because I have experienced every emotion possible when it comes to trading. When I first started trading, I was working at the railroad, scaled my account up very slowly, and I'm just shrinking my story down really, really quickly. Cashed out my 401k, made over $500,000, lost it, completely went in full depression mode, full suicidal mode. Like, thank God I had a good family and good support system. My wife at the time helped me through that. But my personal story, this is what happened to me. In order to gain my consistency and experiencing all those emotional stresses that I'm talking about, It caused a divorce. It caused me to leave my family, to leave my children, all that stuff. And that still affects me today. I've been divorced 5 years now. It still affects me to this day. And not blaming trading, but it's because I didn't know how to handle my emotions. I didn't know how to handle my emotions with what trading was going to bring, because it's every single trade is different. You have a win, you have a loss, you have a break even, you have a stop loss just immediately after your entry, and it's chaos. It's chaos. So a lot of traders are not going to say, going back to this, trading's a lonely journey, but if you can manage your emotions and master that, you'll be the most successful man, woman, whatever, because you can create a balance out of pure chaos. So that's how important me time is to me. I did on NT5. Just hope you learn the way you operate each line. Absolutely, and I'll show you. I know. I'm sorry. I'm taking a lot of y'all's time. Real quick, let me go into this. So I have my levels. I don't want to draw levels on the 1 hour unless I'm really diving in on creating that story. Now I can put one here on the 4 hour, just on very close current price action. Let me just do this real quick. Peaks and valleys, baby. Peaks and valleys. Price hit here, broke through, price hit there, come through, price broke. That's why I put it there. Now, I'm going to try to speed this up a little bit. Go into candles. We see how price plays out perfectly on this area. All right. What I do, I'm a swing trader. I'm not an intraday trader. I'm not a scalper. I look for price to play in between these zones on the higher time frames. So if we have right now, we had this massive bullish run. We know that gold is in a bullish momentum trend. Always at any trend, you're going to have a pullback. So I'm only looking for buys on gold at these areas. Now, I know I was just testing these levels. I had my sell setups, got absolutely blasted. That's me personally. I'm trying to tell you guys, this is why, like, perfect example why I went against the trend. Fundamentals came out. I took a loss. So best is to never counter trend trade. Even if price is in this pullback, you're only looking for buys. So try to identify areas, or you've got your levels. Try to look for buys at these areas. Now, if you want to, when you go into the smaller time frames and you switch back to your candles, you can adjust your levels. Like, I see where price done this right here, and this works better to my strategy where price broke. Remember the candle, price breaks, retests, and goes. Break, hook, and go. If I would have looked at this, I could have identified that, and I would have said, you know what, fundamentals going to play out. I was looking for gold to push back a little bit lower to this level. No, actually, I think I had, I had a line here on my other XAU USD, and I was looking for price to retest this area, create a market structure of a double bottom, and then look for buys. Fundamentals didn't play out like I expected, and gold took off. So it's okay. I took one loss. It's all right. But so going back to just hope you learn the way you operate off each line. So if we're going with the trend, you're looking for buys on each level that you created doing the line chart on your top-down analysis. So I'm only looking for buys at these zones. So this is what, realistically, this is what it looks like. Buy. Not like that. I'm sorry. Buy. 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 This is what you want to look for. Everything good? Okay. So you have, this is literally what you can do realistically. You can map this out. Oh my God. I apologize. For your zones, and then watch how price, now every single one of these trades, go ahead and predetermine. I use 40 pip stops because that gives That gives price a nice little window to play around in. So whatever it is, 32, let's just do this. Math is hard for me. So I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to do, this looks like 40 pips. It's okay. And then I have my, so when I'm looking for buys at these areas, my first initial zone is the next level. So if I'm buying here and I have my next zone here, I'm looking for that. I'm looking for price to do that because it's going to take, it might take 2 or 3 days. It doesn't matter. Do you see the risk to reward? Now, realistically, this line right here, these zones were put on the 1 hour time frame, and I think the 4 hours. So you might have to, realistically, I don't have these many lines on my charts, I promise you. But either way, you have 40 pip stop to a 200 to 300 pip gain. This is just your first TP, and then boing. So look at the risk to reward on all of these. 9 times out of 10, these are what my trades look like, and I'll just show you what I mean real quick. Let me switch over to this. Now you see my zones. You have a little 40 pip stop here, 2004 to 1972. I held that trade, showed y'all live. I even went on my Instagram and showed live on my live account that 40 pip stop. Now, again, this is away from my zone that I have marked up here, but on my phone, I had it marked up way better. My entry, I even showed this. I didn't call this trade, but I showed you guys how I identified it. This was on my, yeah. But look, one win wipes out almost 5 or 6 losses. Like, look at these small losses. Point, point, point. And these weren't losses. These were wins. Look at this. I'm just showing you the 40 pip stops. 40 pip, 40 pip, 40 pip. You see how small? So let's gain all those together. We start out here. We go, we grow, we grow, we grow. Okay, we're here. One win wipes out all that. That's why I'm a swing trader. That's why I don't want to sit there and just cram my brain for one-to-one trades or scalping. Not that you can't, because a lot of you guys, you love scalping throughout the day. You're feeling that dopamine feed, you know, that whatever it is. When you know this, because I see a lot of you guys in Discord, you'll be doing well for 1 to 2, 3 weeks, and then I don't see you guys typing, or I don't see y'all talking because you blew your account. That's what that causes. So the realistic goal is to fall into being a swing trader. Guys, I'm taking a lot of y'all's time. I apologize. Let me swap back to this, and then I'm going to end this. And maybe if y'all put in the chat, if you want me to jump back on tomorrow and do a Thursday, I will, but you guys got to let me know. Because I know some of y'all are working, whatever, and it's been like 48 minutes, so I don't want to take all y'all's time. I think it's this one. So, anyways, that's how you want to identify. You want to be looking for buys. You want to be looking for this right here on these zones. Break, hook, go. Price comes all the way back down. You're only looking for buys. So when price comes back to those areas, you look for buys. Break, hook, go. Point, break, hook, go. Point. That's how it works. And you only look for buys at these areas. What these areas are is where that resistance, that once resistance, now became support. That's how it works. Same as if now, obviously, we're looking for buys on gold. If y'all want me to get on tomorrow, give me a thumbs up. Let me know, or I'm not. I only do Tuesdays and Thursdays at 11 a.m. But same thing on sales. Price breaks, hooks, goes. Price breaks, hooks, goes. Price breaks, hooks, goes. That's how it works on those levels. Now, I love y'all. Again, it's Tuesday, November 19th. Please be cautious. Tomorrow, Wednesday, November 15th, we have crazy news for the U.S. dollar. Crazy news. More news on Thursday at 8:30. Even more news on Friday. So, again, this week is going to be crazy. Tomorrow, you're going to see something wow, because we have unemployment rate, we have employment change, we got the retail sales, the PPI, all that craziness. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all being active in the chat. And I hope y'all have a wonderful trading week. I love y'all, and I am